ibalik sa ibalik sa. So the fourth one, the fifth one is a shifting of wealth. So ang bayad na tax no is it benefits us ng kanang mataas ang atong level sa economy no kay uh, this is one of the kanang factors that can rise up our economy. Uh, Also, by building an infrastructure, still mag-need din og mga for it to function. So, may mga opportunities, may mga jobs nga mabuhat. Okay, proceed. Why do we need to pay tax? So, there are three theory of taxation. So the first one is necessity theory. Funds are needed by the government. The second, lifeblood theory. Taxation is the lifeblood of the government, and also the last one, benefits received theory, which is subjects should pay taxes for government services received. So these theories of taxation basically discusses that or simplify that taxations are funds that are need with the government. Kung wala ni siya, mura ni siya og kanang dugo o mura siya heart, mura siya body part sa government kung sa tao pa no. Kung wala ni siya, dili mabuhi ang government, dili mo unlad ang isa ka country. And also, kita nga people sa society, kita sad ang number one yung mag-benefit ani kay because of the services na gihatag sa gobyerno sa ato ang mga libre ng mga services like what I mentioned earlier, which is the hospitals, schools, education. Yeah. Proceed. Please bear with me lang kay kanang nagsalit sa oras taas ko kayo. So the purpose of taxation primary to provide funds or property with which to promote the general welfare and protection of its citizens and to enable it to finance multi-purpose activities. So ang purpose ng taxation no is mag-provide siya og provide and property with which makapromote siya sa panginahanglan sa kita panginahanglan nato mga people and also para punduhan ang mga activities which also nasa beneficial sa ato. Next. Secondary, to protect local industries through imposition of customs duties. To reduce inequalities in wealth and income by adopting progressively higher tax rates. To prevent inflation or ward of depression by increasing or decreasing taxes respectively. And to promote and protect some enterprise or industry by giving tax exemptions and tax incentives. So one of the purpose of taxation is to give fairness. Kanang walay mo labaw, walay mo lubog in terms of also in business no, enterprise or industry. Dapat fair gid sa tanan kay kita ra sa tanan ani mag-benefit. Equal, dapat equal jud ang treatment. Okay, proceed. Categories of taxation, state power, legislative process, and mode of cost distribution. Uh, it is a mode by which the state allocates its cost or burden to its subjects who are benefited by its spending. So kaning tulo is like meron siya hagdan like categories which diri gibasihan kung unsa kadako ang mga funds nga need o unsay ipagawas no from the word allocates. So ano siya like divide by no ang mga bayron nun ug ang mga utang. So so is subjects no who are benefited by sa ang gasto nato no. Okay, proceed. So what is taxes? Taxes are the enforced proportional contributions from persons and property levied by the law making body of the state by virtue of its sovereignty for the support of the government and the public needs. The three inherent power of the state, police power, power of eminent domain, and power of taxation. So this power of state, the exact proportional contribution from its people to, to cover the cost of government expenditures. So kani sila no mo ay nag kanang murag na nagmando para ma-proportional, ma-equal ang atong mga contributions no depending sa atong depending sa atong trabaho kung sa trabaho or business no para ma-cover ang atong mga bayranan nga kita rasad mo nag-benefit. Okay, proceed. Bureau of Internal Revenue. The Bureau of Internal Revenue or kawani-ani ng renta internas or BIR is a revenue service for the Philippine government which is responsible for collecting more than half of the total revenues of the government. It is an agency of Department of Finance and is led by a commissioner. So ang Bureau of Internal Revenue mauni sila ang tig-collect sa atong mga tax. No, makita mo na ka ng BIR magbayad dira ta magbayad sa atong mga ang mga bayronon or atong mga contribution para sa mga projects. Okay. RA 10963 or Tax Reform for Acceleration in Inclusion Law, which is the TRAIN law, aim to make the Philippine tax system simpler, fairer, and more efficient to promote investments, create jobs, and reduce poverty. Next. Next po, honey. Please, honey, next. So, capital gains tax is tax imposed on the gains presumed to have been realized by the seller from the sale, exchange, or other disposition of capital assets located in the Philippines. So, in other words, no, one, kuha siya sa kapital, mga kapital ng gain from the from seller, from the sale, exchange of products, and also the disposition of capital assets located in the Philippines. So, documentary stamp, it is a tax on documents, instruments, loan agreements, and paper evidencing the acceptance, assignment, sale, or property incident thereto. So, kaning documentary stamp, no, kasagaran niya siya makita sa kanang mga documents, mga kanang mga documents nga na mga waan of tax. Proceed. Donor's tax, it is a tax of on a donation or gift and is imposed on the gratuity to transfer of property between two or more persons or who are living at the same time of the transfer. Next. Next, estate tax, it is a tax on the right of the deceased person to transmit his or her estate to his or her lawful heirs and beneficiaries at the time of death and on certain transfers which are made by law as equivalent to testamentary disposition. It is a tax on the transfer of the net estate of the decedent. So kaning estate tax no kanang tax ni siya after kanang na ay namatay no kanang murag yang ipasa ang sa yang kasagaran ni ang anak no ang mga ang beneficiaries ng anak mga parente if kanang by the time that the person died. Proceed, honey. Proceed pa. Percentage tax is a business tax imposed on persons or entities who sell or lease goods, property, or services in the course of or business whose gross annual or receipts do not para muna ka na muna bayad sa gobyerno. So value added tax, this is tax imposed and collected from the seller in the course of trade or business on every sale of properties, real or personal, lease of goods or properties, or vendors of services. It is a indirect tax, thus it can be passed on the buyer. So this tax levied on the value added economic activity and sale of goods and services. Income tax, it is a tax imposed on all yearly profits arising from property, profession, trades, or offices, or as a tax on a person's income and profits. So basically, income tax on individual and corporations' income. So, by the time trabaho pa, wala na ang muhang sweldo no, kanang wala na siya percent, hindi ko sa imong trabaho or kanang income sa imong business, wala na siya sa gobyerno. Okay.
Pilihan ko lang sa Lara. Okay, every week lang. Hindi na? Every week lang. Madana, every year. Dili na ka malain. Kasi malain ka mo. Okay.
Okay, so much for that. In conclusion, tax is a essential and crucial no, this is a effect on us. So thank you for listening or